Hello, you've caught me on a day of having taken a shamanic class with Rune of the Wind Clan, and that sort of leaves me a little bit introspective and less wanting to put on makeup and show up for a face for the camera, but I show up. So I'm going to do the rune readings for the week ahead. Today is, July 14th, 2024, and this is from Sunday through Saturday. The first rune I've drawn for Sunday the 14th is Saulo. Saulo is the rune of the sun. It's like the figure eight in the way its energy emanates, and it just enlightens and brightens all things. And I want to remind you today that your own pineal gland takes in light from the sun. You could take light in from the sun through your eyes. Just make sure that you get like 15 minutes of unadulterated sunlight per day and allow yourself to wake up and feel called to energy and active and in love with your world. That is Sunday, Saulo. The rune for Monday, July 15th. Oh my goodness, we have Os. Os is the rune in the Anglo-Saxon Futhark that supplanted Ansuz. Although Ansuz is still in the Anglo-Saxon Futhark, it comes much later in the row. But Os is it's like And, it's like Odin's breath. It's the breath of the spirit. It's the breath of the gods. This rune also speaks to the river mouth as it pours into the ocean, speaking to the connotation connection. I was going to blend the words there. Um, but both are true. Water rises as air. That's like our breath, right? And rains down when it gets heavy, like emotions, and goes into the river and eventually into the sea. And like that, we are all integrated. I don't want to talk so much about oneness as about unity. I want to talk about how the living energy fields of one being blend with another, and it's like that all over the surface of this beautiful planet, whom some call Gaia. I like the name Earth because it relates to the name of the oldest Norn at the well of Earth. So we all have our own ways, but this is a rune of creative expression. If you allowed yesterday's rune Sawalo to call forth the life energy in you and you're feeling really good today, you might find a way of creative expression, which is also another thing that this rune Os speaks to. For Tuesday, the 16th of July, and oh my gosh, this month is going so quickly for me. I don't know about you, but the 16th of July is the rune Odal or Othila. This is about the rune of home. It could mean coming home to yourself. It could mean coming home to your family. It relates to ancestors and the tribe. You are a unique blend of DNA. There is no one else just like you, not even your brothers and sisters, because each one of you gets a separate or little bit of a different combination of the egg and sperm. So, family, going back down the generations, there are thousands of beings behind us, wishing us well for our lives, maybe having done the best they could, whether it was the best you needed, but it all relates. And there's work to do in coming home to ourselves, on discovering our own light, Sunday's reading, and our own shadows. To become whole is part of the interpretation of coming home to oneself. Of course, this also can relate to your home dwelling. It can relate to your nation, your land, the things you care about. And every home must stand on a solid foundation, mustn't it? So know what you stand for. Know what you stand for. And don't be afraid to express that in the world. This is Othila for Tuesday. For Wednesday, let me see if I can dig a little deeper in this pouch. Sometimes I wish when I make things, I leave myself a little more hand room. And what have we today? Ooh, now Thiesh. Now Thiesh is a rune of limitation and constraint, but it's reversed today, so it's not quite so severe as it might be otherwise. But it's worth looking at. When I speak of looking at the shadows, it's worth looking at the conditioned beliefs, the ideas that you hold that no longer work for you. We are in an age of awakening. The turbulations of the which the planet is undergoing now, and our species, as well as other species, is undergoing now. We need to wake up. This is a matter of looking at what gets in your own way. What is it you trip over when you're trying to be your best self? What is it that you don't always want to see because it's too uncomfortable? If you can, this is a good time to bring some of that into the light. If it's too much, find a good counselor. I am not ashamed to say, find a good counselor. I have done that, and I have valuable resources because I have done that. There's no shame in it. There's no shame in good mental health. Oh my gosh, but then we have the rune Ak for Thursday, which arrives upside down. This can mean that we are not standing in our power. This can mean that as an oak tree stands alone and gets hit by the lightning, there might be something in facing our own strength or something in facing self empowerment that is keeping us from that worthy goal. A little introspection might lead to the answer. It's also a rune of leadership. If it relates to you or someone else around you, the message could be, how are you or that other person failing in your leadership capacity? For Friday, July 16th, was it? To count down again. Friday the 19th. This is Gar. This is Odin's rune. His spear. This is a rune by which he called his warriors home. Now, we spoke earlier of the rune Othela being a way of coming home to oneself. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that Odin is your guy. Whatever your guy is, this is a good time, or girl, it's a good time to connect with your highest vision of the divine and make your peace, find your alignments, and you will navigate this 3D world in a better state of affairs, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, and physically. For Saturday, this is the rune of humanity. Humanity is struggling, and we all have our part to do. If we shy away from, for example, the turbulation in the elections, you don't like one guy, you don't like the other guy, you don't like either guy, but you don't have a broad choice, I implore you to stand on your highest values and vote for the candidate that you can best support, because we are in this together. We are struggling together. I don't know who will agree with me or disagree with me on this, but I see sort of the struggle in the political realm right now, like the struggle humanity has been going through for generations between authoritarianism and the pursuit of the highest in ourselves. We can't do that if we are ground down by people telling us what to do and how to live all the time. We need to find our own conflicts to rise above that, to be free of constraint. I don't necessarily think that either guy is worse than the other. You know, it's up to your decision, your understanding, whatever. But it's important to act on your power and take a say, have a say, have a say. So that is my interpretation of the runes for the week of July 14th through July 20th. I'm Susan of the North when I do psychic readings. I'm Susan Hintz Epstein when I'm an author and the rest of the time. And I wish you all a very blessed and fortunate week ahead.